The USS Texas was born before the First World War as the most powerful weapon in the world. The Texas represents the pinnacle in battleship design. She measures over 573 feet long and 95 feet wide. At her highest point, she rises 140 feet above the sea. Her displacement with a normal load is 27,000 tons. Running on coal, her top speed is 21 knots. The Texas also comes heavily armored, up to 12 inches along her most vulnerable areas near the waterline. The Texas' first commanding officer is Captain Albert W. Grant. His crew consists of 950 officers, enlisted men, and Marines. They man a series of weapons, including 21 5-inch 51 caliber rapid-firing guns and 4 21-inch torpedo tubes. But the crew's most important role, in fact, the reason for the battleship's existence, revolves around the operation of the Texas' most formidable weapons. Her twin batteries of 14-inch guns, rifles powerful enough to hurl 1,275-pound shells up to a dozen miles, a serious threat to anyone or anything along the ocean's coastlines.
It was a constant thing. You don't have any time to really talk with the guys. You go on and do your job, and that's it.
You couldn't hear anything. Just the noise was out of this world.
In November 1942, the Texas, under the command of Captain Roy Pfaff, switches gears and joins an invasion fleet steaming towards North Africa. It will be her first true test in battle. The first American troops landed ashore at 5:30 a.m. But it's not until the early afternoon when the first orders arrive from an Army fire control officer to destroy an enemy munitions dump. She sends in 59 shells and demolishes her first target. More calls come, and more enemy positions are taken out, including artillery guns, buildings, and road crossings. The Texas guns also help repel massive enemy counterattacks against the American troops.
The operation off of North Africa is very interesting for the Texas. Our country at that point in time, we were viewed even by our allies as more of a supply depot, if you will, than a fighting force.
The Texas and her crew showed what they could do. They showed what the result of the years of training and technological innovations could bring about with the success of the invasion in 1942.
At the conclusion of the fighting, a number of U.S. Army soldiers and officers come aboard the Texas. Suddenly, an Army sergeant runs up to turret 3, climbs the ladder, walks out to one of the 14-inch guns, and then begins kissing the huge barrel.
Some of the crewmen of the Texas asked him, "Are you crazy? What are you doing?" And he said, "This ship saved our life. We were being attacked by a column of enemy tanks, and the 14-inch gunfire from this ship is what destroyed many of those tanks and made the others flee and kept us from being overrun."
The Texas and her crew proved she was not too old or outdated. Nevertheless, for the next 16 months, the Texas resumed spending most of her time escorting merchant convoys.